Hey class, I hope you had a great day yesterday. I do know that there was quite a bit of talking yesterday, so please be sure that you are quiet and that you're following the directions that Miss T is giving to you to do. So with that being said, I'm going on into the lesson, but keep in mind that you can pause the video when you need to pause it to work out the problem. But then remember to press play so that you can continue through the video. It's not just one problem and you stop. You have to go throughout the whole video till you get to the end so you can know what pages you need to do in your math book, and then you'll be done. All right, so let's get started. Here's the problem of the day. It says Dr. Mims baked 8 pies. Each pie had the same number of slices. There was a total of 40 slices in all. Write an equation you can use to find the number of slices in each pie. Okay, so remember the steps to solving a problem. The first thing that we need to do is restate the question. But if you notice in this particular problem, there is not a question. So therefore, we don't need to restate the question, but we need to write an equation to find the number of slices in each pie. So if we were to try to figure out the number of slices that's in each pie, what equation would we write? So we don't have a question. So now we're going to go on to the next step, which is to look for key information to help us to write the equation. So when we reread the problem, it says Dr. Mims baked 8 pies. Okay, so knowing that Dr. Mims baked 8 pies is important, so we need to underline that. Also, it says each pie had the same number of slices. The fact that each pie has the same number, that is also important. And then it's also important to know the total amount of slices in all, which were 40 slices in all. So we're going to underline that as well. And also we need to underline what we're supposed to be doing, which is writing an equation to find the total number of slices in each pie. So if it's saying in each pie, that means, okay, how many slices were in the first pie, how many slices was in the next pie, how many slices were in the third pie, and so on and so on. So we're still going to draw a picture because that will help us to write an equation for this. So if it says that Dr. Mims baked 8 pies, we need to draw 8 pies. So on your paper, draw 8 pies. You can draw 8 circles, 8 squares, whatever it is that you want to draw. So I am going to draw 8 circles. So I want round pies. So that's the first pie, the second pie, the third pie, fourth pie, fifth pie, sixth pie, here's the seventh pie, and then the 8th pie. All right, so those are my pies. Then it says each pie had the same number of slices. Well, I don't know what those slices are right now. Okay, so this is like, okay, well, how many does this one have? How many does this one have? I don't know, but I know it's the same number in each one. It's the same number in each one. So we can put question marks in every one of them because that means that it's the same amount. Each question mark would be the same amount. If you wanted to put X's in each one, because that's your unknown, you could do that as well. All right, so I have question marks here because I don't know the number of slices. That's what I'm trying to find out. But I do know the total slices in all. So I know that the first question mark plus the second question mark plus the third question mark plus the fourth question mark plus the fifth question mark plus the sixth question mark plus the 7th question mark plus the 8th question mark is going to equal 40 slices in all. Okay? But how could I find the answer to each one of these question marks? I could use division. So I would take the total amount, because remember in division, we write the total amount first. So I would write 40. And then I'll say, okay, well, how many equal groups do I have? Well, that would be the number of pies. Each pie is a group. So 40 divided by 8 equals X, or equals question mark, because I have a question mark. So equal question mark. So that would be the part of the equation. Now I need to solve it, because right now I have an expression because I don't have an answer. So I want an equation, so that means I need to put an answer there. So 40 divided by 8. How can I figure that out? I can figure that out by saying, well, 8 times what equals 40? Or I can use repeated subtraction, or I have my groups here, and I can just put a circle or something inside of each one at a time, until I get to 40. But remember, yesterday we worked on repeated subtraction. So I could say 40 minus 8, get my difference. Whatever that difference is, say minus 8, and keep subtracting 8 until I have 0. And then that would be my answer. Okay, but because I know 8 times 5 equals 40, I know that the answer is 5. So this pie has 5 slices. This pie has 5 slices. This pie has 5. This one has 5. Each pie has 5 slices because it says it has to have the same number. So as you can tell, it's the same number in each pie. Then I can check my answer by counting by 5s to make sure that will give me 40 slices in all. So this is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So that means that this equation, 40 divided by 8 equals 5, is correct. Once again, this is our vocabulary. The commutative property of multiplication, we're switching the factors. The zero property of multiplication, anything times 0 equals 0. The identity property of multiplication, a factor times 1 will equal the other factor. The distributive property, that's when we take one of the factors, we decompose it, and then we take the other factor and we multiply it by each number that we decompose the other factor by. Also, we have the associative property of multiplication, and that's when we have 4 times 3 times 2. So we might group together the 4 times 3 and multiply that first. Or we might group the 3 times 2 and multiply that first. So that's the associative property of multiplication. Then we have factors. Those are the numbers that we multiply together. The product is the answer to the multiplication problem. Your quotient is your answer to your division problem. The dividend is your total amount in your division problem. The divisor is the number of groups that you have. And an array is where you have your rows and you have the same amount in each row. So, what strategies can you use to divide? You can use repeated subtraction. You can draw groups. You can draw an array. You can use the inverse operation to figure out the missing parts in a division problem. How are division and multiplication related? Well, Multiplication and division are related because they undo each other. When might you use division at home or in the community? When you're trying to share something equally. So we're going to use ropes and the steps to solve the word problem below. So first we need to read it, and it says, a designer makes 15 dresses in equal numbers of red, blue, or yellow. How many dresses of each color are there? Write a division sentence with a symbol for the unknown. What are the different strategies you can use to solve? So here we have two different questions. The first one is, how many dresses of each color are there? So we need to restate that question first. How many dresses of each color are there? So we would write, there are blank dresses of each color. All right, and then we go to our next question, which is, what are the different strategies you can use to solve? So you will restate by saying, the different strategies I can use to solve are blank. Okay, now let's go and find the key information. So the key information that we have here is, a designer makes 15 dresses. Okay, so 15 dresses, equal numbers, and then the colors are red, blue, and yellow. And then we also need to make sure we write a division sentence with a symbol for the unknown. So we have to remember to do that as well. So I'm just going to put DS here so I can remember that I need to write a division sentence. But I know I'm going to have to do that anyway because that's part of my steps. So I found the key information. After I find the key information, the next thing I need to do is draw a picture for that key information. So what would I draw? 15 dresses, because we know we have 15 dresses. Okay, so let's draw those 15 dresses. So here, that's 3, that's 5, all right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that's 15 dresses. All right, so I drew that part so I can mark through that. And then it says equal numbers of red, blue, yellow. Well, since I know some are red, some are blue, some are yellow, what I'm going to do, I'm going to write an R for red for a dress. Then I'm going to write B for blue for the next dress. And then I'm going to write a Y for yellow for the next dress. And I'm going to keep going red, blue, yellow, red, blue, yellow, red, blue, yellow until I'm out of dresses. All right, so the next one is red, blue, yellow, red, blue, yellow, red, blue, yellow, red, blue, yellow. So when I look at my picture, this is going to show me how many dresses of each color there are. So let's see, how many red ones do we see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 5 red. Well, let's count the blue to make sure that they're equal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 red, there's 5 blue, and let's check yellow just to make sure it's the same number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we also have 5 yellow dresses. So as we can see, they are equal numbers because 5 equals 5 equals 5. So now I can go back up to my sentence and say there are 5 dresses of each color. Now it says I need to write a division sentence with a symbol for the unknown. Well, the division sentence would begin with the total amount. The total amount is 15. Divided by the number of groups. We didn't know, so we could have put an X there, equals the number that's in each group. Wait, I said 15 divided by 3. I'm sorry. We knew the groups. There are 3 different groups. So it's 15 divided by 3 equals X, because the 5 is what we were trying to find. So we had 15 dresses total, and then we had a group of 3, which is your red dresses, your blue dresses, and your yellow dresses. So we had 3 groups, and then we had to find out the number that's in each group. So 15 divided by 3 equals X. And so we know that X equals 5. So keep in mind, even I can make mistakes, as you know, but we have to make sure we catch our mistakes and we're able to explain why there is a mistake. So it was 15 dresses total that we divided into 3 groups, and those 3 groups are red, blue, and yellow. And then we had to find the number of red, the number of blue, and the number of yellow. So that means we needed to find the number in each group. So it should be 15 divided by 3 equals X. So we know X equals 5. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so let's try this one. It says there are 16 flowers. Each vase has 4 flowers. How many vases are there? All right, so what's our first step? Our first step is to restate the question. Well, the question is, how many vases are there? So we need to restate that and say there are blank vases. Now we're going to look for key information. Okay, well, there are 16 flowers, and we know each vase has 4 flowers. So now we need to draw a picture for this. So what will we draw first? Okay, we can draw 4 flowers in a vase because we know each vase has 4 flowers. That's what we know. So we'll draw, this could be the vase, and then we will draw 4 flowers in each one. 1, 2, 3, 4. We know there are 16 flowers total, but we just drew 4, so that's not enough. So we need to draw another vase. Draw 4 more flowers because there are 4 flowers in each vase. So now we have 4 plus 4, which equals 8. Well, we have a total of 16, so that's not enough. So we draw another vase, and that vase has 4 flowers. So we need to put 4 flowers inside of that vase. So now that's 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Still not 16. So I need to draw another vase. And I need to draw 4 flowers in that vase. Now that's 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's all 16 flowers. So here's my picture. So the question is, how many vases are there? Remember, this big circle represents the vase. So that's 1 vase, 2 vases, 3 vases, 4 vases. So there are 4 vases. Now, what would be the equation that I would write for this? Remember, what did I just do? I had a total of 16, and I put 4 in each one. So the equation that I could write is that I had a total of 16 flowers, and then I divided them out into 4 groups, which equals 4 in each group. So 16 divided by 4 equals 4. All right, let's try this one. There are 14 ears. Each dog has 2 ears. How many dogs are there? So first, we need to look at our question. How many dogs are there? Let's restate that question. So we will restate the question by saying, there are blank dogs. Then we go and we look for the key information. Key information, 14 ears. Each dog has 2 ears. So now we draw a picture of this. If we draw 14 ears first, that's fine. We could do that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. And I know each dog has 2 ears. So this dog has 2 ears. 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 And this dog has 2 ears. So the question is, how many dogs are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are 7 dogs. So my equation would be, I had 14 total divided by 2 ears equals 7 dogs. Now, your independent work, you need to work on pages 259, the odd numbers, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 260. On the back, you're going to do 15, 16, 17, 18. After you finish your independent work, be sure to work on Mobley Max assignments that I assigned to you, and those should be the multiplication and division problems. Your page numbers are right here. This is what they look like. If you don't have your math book, then pause it and you'll see each problem here on the video. If you have any questions, be sure to ask Miss T, and I'm sure she'll be happy to answer those questions for you. But one thing that you need to remember, guys, I realize that today is Halloween and you're excited, but you've got to remain calm, because if you want good things to happen, you have to behave in a way that is good also. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day.